Protests erupted around Europe this weekend in opposition of new restrictions on those choosing not to get vaccinated. In Paris, tensions flared as police sprayed demonstrators with tear gas and water cannons. Thousands of people there are fighting a new law that requires proof of immunization status or a negative test before entering restaurants, museums, and theaters, and before boarding airplanes. Australia, Italy, and the UK saw similar protests as governments in those countries debate virus mandates. Elizabeth Palmer has more.
Thousands of demonstrators came out on Saturday in Paris to protest against stricter anti-COVID measures. When the scuffles turned violent, the police used tear gas to disperse the crowd. But that public anger didn't deter French legislators.
Le projet de loi est adopté.
They passed a law last night that will make vaccines mandatory for health workers and vaccine passports essential to get into museums, cinemas, and festivals. Outside the Louvre Museum on the weekend, checks were already underway, which took Nellie Breton off guard. At first, I was furious, she said, but then I calmed down and realized there were medical reasons to be rigorous. Over at the Eiffel Tower, the system was working smoothly, everyone showing either an electronic proof of vaccination or a hard copy. And for those who didn't have either one, there was rapid on-site testing. So anyone who had a ticket could enjoy the views from this famous landmark newly reopened after 9 months. All across Europe, there have been demonstrations. In Athens, where the Greek government has said health workers have no choice but to get fully vaccinated. And in Italy, where a peaceful crowd marched against the vaccine passports they'll soon need for places like gyms and museums and for indoor dining. As tourism comes to life again in Europe, people may not love the new rules, but they do believe they're better than another lockdown. And evidence from France shows that they are definitely boosting vaccinations among the reluctant. I didn't want to, admitted Ruben Ben Amran, but there are now just too many restrictions. People like Ruben may be more interested in getting a vaccine passport than getting the vaccine itself, but to public health officials, that counts as a win. And consider this, on the first day that the new vaccine passport rules were announced, almost 1 million French people booked a shot. Anne-Marie?
Okay, then. Well, you know, sometimes when you watch news coverage, it's really difficult to figure out if we're looking at the largest number of people in the room or the loudest people in the room. So how widespread is the dissent in Europe?
Well, the demonstrations obviously got a lot of attention. There were cameras there, and whenever the police come out with their riot shields and tear gas, you know that those pictures are going to go around the world. But the fact is, I think that most people are pretty comfortable with the system. They've accepted that it's necessary for life to go back to normal. Some people more grudgingly than others, obviously. But overall, 6 countries have now got some version of this passport in effect. The European Commission has made a kind of a standard template electronically for people's phones, so it's very easy to get, and it looks like it's just going to become the norm.
You know, what we've seen here in the States is that, you know, some areas of the country feel differently about all the various mandates and restrictions than others. And so local governments have maybe bent to the desires of the more outspoken critics. I'm wondering, even though the vast majority of people seem to agree with these sort of new mandates, is the government concerned about these protests getting louder and larger? Or governments,
there was
plural.
A little backing off. For example, in France, originally, Mr. Macron, the president, wanted to have restaurants and bars covered by this vaccine passport. And there was a big pushback. So for the moment, it's just gyms and museums and galleries. But it does look as if they may inch forward, depending on the numbers of the pandemic. And of course, in Italy, they had planned to have it on long-distance trains and then backed off of that. Although not all public transport is exempt. In Greece, for example, where people take ferry ferries to the islands, not only tourists but residents. The Greek government has stood firm and said, look, if you want to get on this boat, you're going to have a proof of either vaccination or having had COVID or having tested negative in the last couple of days.
Right. Gosh, that would be a rapid test for sure. Here in the U.S., the whole idea of vaccine passports, it's quite controversial for several reasons, but one of them has to do with access, whether or not it would be fair, because there would be some groups that would find it difficult to have access, particularly if it's something that's on a smartphone and you don't have a phone that is that advanced. I'm wondering if that is something that people in Europe are concerned about as well.
I think it's very different culture. First of all, the state is much more present in people's lives. And if you consider that European health coverage is universal, if you get treated in Europe for medical conditions, all your health details are already in a database that the state could have access to. So that information is already out there. People seem to think showing up at the Eiffel Tower and showing a smartphone is no big deal. It's just the ticket taker is going to have a look. The database protected by privacy laws is intact, and this is no further infringement on your privacy. The European, pan-European vaccine passport that I talked about comes in a hard copy too. So if you're somebody who can't have an iPhone or a smartphone, you can get a piece of paper, which is also acceptable. And then in the big destinations like the Eiffel Tower, they also have instant testing, probably mostly for tourists, but just so that people don't go away angry having bought a ticket and then discovering they can't get in.
Right. Elizabeth Palmer, thank you very much.
Pleasure.